Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to the Starcraft 2 Ownage. You're watching Game 2 of a best of 3 series played between mouzHasuObs, who is the yellow Protoss up here at the top position of Terminus Re, and he's going to be facing off against Complexity's Minigun down at the bottom position. So, Protoss versus Protoss, with screwed up music. What's going on there? Okay, well, looks like we're going to be having the Starcraft. I don't know what's up with this music, but whatever. I hope you guys like it. Anyway, so Protoss versus Protoss. It's a little boring, but that's why I have added this musical interlude for you guys to enjoy while the downtime occurs here. Because as we all know, PvP is definitely not one of the more dynamic matchups. It can be quite static at times. There's a lot of waiting around, a lot of timings, and slow expansions, a very, very fast late game. I just find it interesting though, you know? It's a little different than the others. So far, looks like Minigun is going to be putting down that gateway, and again, it looks like he just likes that 13 gateway. Probably gives him, yeah, just a little bit of a probe lead. And you know, in Protoss versus Protoss, a probe lead does help you out. But as we saw in Game 1, what this resulted in, it means that his cybernetics core is a little late, and so his warp gate tech doesn't finish as fast as his opponent. So I think a 4 gate might be a really nice timing in there for his opponent to abuse. But on a map like this with such long rush positions, even with the proxy pylon, it's still a bit of a ways to get to your opponent's base. So, you know, I think I kind of like his build. It's interesting. Gas up for both players probably. Yep. Everything standard so far. Just, of course, because of that probe lead that Minigun opted for, he's going to be a little behind in the cybernetics core. We can see that displayed in the production tab. And as for now, they're just scouting around the map, seeing what's going on. Neither player's found each other yet, but it looks like mouzHasuObs is going to be the first here, and he sees that. When you scout, you just want to check for this, the second gas. If you see a second gas this early, you know he's going to be going for some kind of tech. And usually the response you want to do is exactly this. You want to get your own second gas, because it means that you're safe to tech as well. Unless you feel comfortable going for the 4 gate and punishing his tech, which is a lot harder to do with that new patch, then I think, in my humble opinion, that going for the second gas yourself is the better move. So we got Stalkers coming out for both players. Everything very standard indeed. Stealing a few minerals there before he leaves, and tried to block something there. I don't like this play actually. I think Mouse should leave right now because, yeah, that Stalker's coming out, and when that thing gets out, you don't want to lose your probe. If we take a look at the units lost, no one's lost a probe yet. That's good. Losing that probe means you have to send another one out, and if you are going for some kind of rush, that proxy pylon can be really delayed because of that. So it's so important in Protoss versus Protoss to keep that probe alive. Same thing in the other matchups with Protoss as well, because, you know, a warp gate rush always needs that proxy pylon. And look at that. mouzHasuObs just took out that probe, very careless of Minigun to leave it there undefended. It looks like it's going to be a 1 gate robo from mouzHasuObs, whereas we have 2 gates right now for Minigun. And I guess he just likes to throw that robo down after the second gateway. But I think I think the build orders here were reversed in the first game. Anyway, we're gonna have to see. He's saving up quite a bit of gas, and it looks like it is going to be a Twilight Council, 2 gates with a Twilight Council, and all these Stalkers. It's going to be Blink Stalkers, I think. Dark Templar very unlikely, especially with the addition of the Sentry. But hold on, we have a little bit of a micro battle here in the middle of the map. It looks like Minigun is going to be the victor there. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, 2 gates make that 3. 3 gates with a Twilight Council usually means the Dark Templar, or sorry, the Blink Stalkers. If you're going for a lot of Stalkers, if we saw less Stalkers and more Sentries, I think it would make more sense to be going for Dark Templar, because you want the Sentries to stall them on the ramp. But in any case, here comes Blink. It's going to be interesting. And it's going to be a 4 gate Blink Stalker, so very all in. Although in Protoss versus Protoss, you know, that it's not always, you know, a lot of builds are kind of like that. It's kind of geared that way. And with this 3 gate robo build from mouzHasuObs, you know, I kind of like to see him maybe make the Immortal first. He's got 100 gas right now, so will he do that? I'm not sure. Looks like he's actually going to be going for a Robo Bay with... Does he have an Observer? Yeah, with one Observer, no Immortal. So I think these Blink Stalkers are going to have a really nice timing, but forget that. Looks like one Stalker went down there. Take a look at the units lost. A few units lost for Minigun unnecessarily right there. But if he gets that Stalker, it might be worth it. But you don't want to lose two. Oh no, definitely not. Not with a timing push like this. With the Observer advantage here for mouzHasu, I don't see Minigun's little micro battle here doing well. So now the first Colossus is coming out, and with the 4 gates, why on earth didn't he warp in over here? There we go. That's very strange. I think he was worried about maybe a run-by or something of that sort. But anyway, more proxy pylons going up. There's going to be a really solid timing here where that Colossus isn't out yet, and he needs to hit that perfectly. Just get right up to the robotics facility and snipe it the second it comes out, and then he's going to have way more units. So we'll see if he does that, but he's quickly running out of time right now. He's getting another 4 Stalkers right off the bat. He's got Blink researched, but the Colossus is about to pop out, and it looks like Minigun might have just waited too long. We're going to have to see here. Can he get vision? Yes, he can, but one Stalker only gets up. Let's actually take a look at his vision. That was a perfect force field. I have to commend mouzHasuObs for that. That's really, really strong. And now he is getting the Immortal. Very wise, in my opinion. Another Colossus would take too long, and it's not really needed against Stalkers. And here he goes, going to try and blink back, but it just doesn't work that well against the thermal lances of the Colossus. The ramp seems to be breached. Immortal is out, though, and that's going to make a huge difference here. Yet, the Immortal should be able to push these Stalkers back. Lucky he didn't lose those two as well. And mouzHasuObs holds the rush. And if we take a look at the units lost right now, it's actually quite lopsided in favor of HasuObs, but he's losing units unnecessarily here. And without his own Blink upgrade research, these Stalkers can micro forever against his army. There he goes again, dealing more damage here. We have more Zealots and another Stalker warping in for him. And honestly, if I were Minigun right now, I would just abandon the rush and build my own robotics at home, because he's behind in tech, and when this next Colossus comes out, it's going to be pretty ugly. Yeah, Blink, it's pretty good, but once the Colossus comes out, it just doesn't work as well anymore. And with this pylon right here, perfect placement, warping in Zealots like this, it's just going to be dealing a lot of damage. Looks like he's committed, though, still warping in more units. Another Zealot, I like that, just to tank the damage going up the ramp. With the Colossus out, yeah, Blink, you can't blink away from Colossus fire. It doesn't work that way. You can only blink away from animations that are stopped by a point defense drone, the projectile type. Nice blink in to snipe the Colossus, but unfortunately blinked into an area where he had less Stalkers than his opponent, and all of these units are going to be taken out, or at least some of them, before they blink away. Still no expansion taken. It doesn't look like any additional tech has come out. Honestly, this just isn't working. I mean, he's taken out the Colossus, but another one has been chrono boosted out. It's about to pop. And with all this extra money, he could even start Thermal Lance or an Immortal. That works too. And when he gets Thermal Lance, Blink isn't going to work at all, because then the Colossi outrange the Stalkers by 3. So yeah, huge amounts of damage right there. He can try and blink up, but the Zealots and the Colossus are just going to do so much damage if he tries that. So yeah, like I said, I think he should just abandon it. Looks like he is planning that. He's started probe production again, so that's definitely good. And what was that? Looks like random Zealot was just walked in. Definitely a good play. You can do stuff like that. I mean, this is why the proxy pylon's so strong. Just one Zealot to harass made Minigun, it forced him to warp 3 Zealots over here, and that weakened his push severely since it was 3 less units at the front. So that's a really nice thing. And it looks like that Nexus is now being taken. Yeah, that rush did not work. Minigun is quite far behind. Units lost tab does reflect that. And just checking around for the proxy pylon, he definitely wants to take that out. And if we actually look at these Zealots, where are they headed? Just going to stay there. So, no Thermal Lance yet. And, oh, I love this build. He's going to be going for the Charge Lot build. I would not be surprised to see a Twilight Council. Will he be getting the Twilight Council? You can actually get charge lots and Archons with the Twilight Council. You just warp in a few High Templar and you merge them immediately. And that usually it does very well against a unit composition like this. You can crush through the force fields because Archons are massive. And the charge lots can wrap around all these units very nicely. But still, I really hate Minigun's position right now. His expansion's a little bit faster, but honestly, I think with these two Colossi, he can just push right up and breach the front, just A-move into the front and deal all the damage he needs to. Stalker's getting caught a little bit out of position, but very mobile with Blink. But you know what? Once that rush finishes, you're just so behind in tech, I don't see this working out for him. He's trying to delay him as much as possible, but I think that mouzHasuObs knows what's up, and he's just going to push right in here and own him. Getting, no more Colossi at the moment. Still hasn't gone for the Thermal Lance. It's really expensive, so no surprise there. Guardian Shield goes up. Will he make use of it? No, he will not. Meanwhile, still one Proxy Pylon there. That can be a really nice harassment tool, like I was saying. You can warp in a few units there, send them to the natural. Both players have their naturals up now. We take a look at the units tab. Pretty similar probe count, but HasuObs is unsurprisingly in the lead. What on earth just happened there? One Stalker got overeager or something. But anyway, it looks like the battle's going to commence. The charge has finished. They're just running right up to the Stalkers, dealing a lot of damage. But the Colossi back here are just dealing even more, it looks like. Another round of warp in. Should be enough, though. No, doesn't look like it. The Zealots were warped in, but they're going to be force fielded off. And that's going to be GG. A good game. So it looks like it's tied up 1-1 now. We're going to be moving on to game 3 here, guys. Thanks for watching.